Alrighty guys, we are analyzing and I'm actually showing you Luke's before and after on his backhand. The reason being is Luke's come such a long way with his backhand, and if you know Luke, you will know how long he's been struggling with his backhand, and that's why it's such a big breakthrough for him. So I want to show you how he got to this point, and obviously we're still working on it, but he's so much more comfortable with his backhand. And it's very possible to get a weakness into a very decent shot and even a strength. So you might be wondering what we did here, so let's get started. Let's just go through it again. So Luke, he had no power on his backhand, no consistency, accuracy. We tried a lot of things to get this sorted out, but the first thing that really worked was fixing his backhand grip, because that's where everything started. So if you can look at his grip on the left, which was the before, and then the grip on the right. I know the quality is not too great. The main thing we did was his left hand on the left hand side of the picture was too much semi-western, as well as his right hand. So if you'll see his racket is really close to his body on that backhand. See the difference? There's the turn on the left hand side, very close to his body, right hand side further away. So what we did was, for him, it worked to get his left hand Eastern grip and his right hand also Eastern grip. This made his left hand stronger and his right hand weaker, because if you look on the left hand side, his right hand was too strong, and that's why he would then just keep it close to his body, and from here he would pull it and keep the racket close to his body. You can see him pulling up way more on the left hand side, and on the right hand side his body weight's going forward a lot more. So that was step number one. Another thing that's not really in the books is something we had to experiment with, but if you notice the turn here, we closed these strings on the right hand side, we closed these strings on the turn. This helped him, so there's a nice view, this helped him to really get the racket further away from him and get a better contact point. If you see his racket on left hand side, strings are a bit more up and open, right hand side more closed and away. This worked for him, it might not work for everyone, but this made a really big difference for Luke. So that was step two. Let's move on. Alright, so like I said, everything blends together, but if you look at his contact point, because we fixed the turn and the grip, his contact point is a lot further away from his body and not so close anymore. So there's left hand contact point, there's the right hand side contact point, a lot further away, and this is helping him to have a much longer and better follow through. If you look at the two follow throughs here, you can see the left hand side, he comes up and he used to actually pull away. If I had to show you more backhands, you would see him pulling a lot to the right, and now his body weight's really going to the target, which is a lot better. Big thing we also changed for Luke was, look at his legs. As he goes, the one he stays down, left hand side he pops up, right hand side he goes forward. And I really want you to take a look at his finish. Now this is something that happens when confidence grows. It doesn't matter your technique, if it's right or wrong, but if you have no confidence, you're going to keep pulling up like this side because you don't trust it. And when players pull up like this, it's because they don't trust it, so they come up. When you do trust it, I want you to look at this side of the screen. When you do trust your shots, then the body always wants to go into the ball because you trust it. Boom. So that's the long and the short of it. Luke is still working on it, but I wanted to show you what's possible and what you can do if you keep working on it, Luke is a very hard worker. So he's really transformed his backhand to a weapon. He's now in US in college. And I told him that we're going to sort out his backhand, even if it's the last thing we do. So well done, Luke. If you guys really want to see how much his backhand has changed, you can find Luke on my YouTube channel, and you can see the improvements. But mainly it was his grip, his turn, his follow through, and then his leg staying low. And he's working on this every single day, fine tuning it. But well done, Luke. This is a big difference.